less quality is reduced, the better your interface is. So a good interface I know is Focusrite. That was my first interface. I ended up switching over to audio simply because I needed a bigger interface. It's not because I didn't like Focusrite. I liked all my interfaces that I had. I had a pre-Sonus interface. That interface was decent. I also had and right now I got my M Audio. So I had Focusrite, pre-Sonus, M Audio. I had a pretty good experience with all of them. None of them was wrong. It just depends on what size you need. Like for example, I got a subwoofer and 2 speakers hooked up, so I had to get an interface with more ports on it than the one that I originally had. If you only gonna be using 2 speakers, you probably just need the basics. If you only got a mic, then you probably not gonna need that much. But if you recording multiple people with multiple mics, then you probably already know that you need a bigger interface. But you might just be getting started, might be playing in a band or something like that. You're gonna need multiple mics, you're gonna need multiple XLR cables, and you're gonna need an interface that can compute that. So if you want to DJ, you're gonna need a certain type of interface that can switch from DJing back to your computer or whatever. So yeah, your sound card is very important. You can get it. I spent $150 on my first one, I think, or $200 like that. And it's not bad. I mean, you gonna get good quality. That's not gonna be the make or break. That's not gonna make or break your sound, like your mic, for example, or your computer. That's not the make or breaker. Get you an audio interface, you good. All right, so number 3 on the list, we did computer, interface, and now we on monitors. All right, not a monitor like a screen. A monitor is what you use to monitor your sound. They speakers, right? So your speakers is probably the most important part of your equipment outside of your computer, simply because like a lot of people think that and I'm giving y'all these in the list of importance. Your monitors are more important than your mic, and I'm gonna tell you why. You can have a $10,000 mic, but if your speakers is ass, you not gonna know what your sound really sound like, right? So you're gonna be mixing and you thinking your shit sound good, but it don't. When you get it to the car or when you get it on some good speakers, you gonna hear it. You're gonna be like, damn, well, I got a good ass mic, but how come my shit sound bad? It's because your speakers are trash, right? So it don't even gotta be that your speakers are trash. It's just you gotta know your speakers. Like you have to reference your speakers when you get ready to make music. When you get ready to make music, you want to have multiple references. That's why they call monitors, or that's why they call monitors, because you're monitoring your sound. So you want to have some headphones, some regular headphones, like some Apple EarPods. You want to have some Beats headphones. You want to see what it sound like on some regular computer speaker headphones. You want to see what it sound like off the laptop. You want to see what it sound like off the phone. You want to see what it sound like in your homie car. You want to get a reference point from each perspective so that you can see. I personally would recommend going with the popular brand of things, because that's how most people are listening to it. It's not necessarily what sounds good or what sounds the best. It's how everybody hearing it. You don't want to be editing off some $1 million speakers and then everybody listening to their music on $20 speakers. You want to see how it sounds on the $20 speakers, right? So that's how I go off of it. I would go for popular brands like KRKs. I would go for Yamahas. That's what I have. I have the Yamaha HS5, and then or JBL. You want to go with leading brand names, the ones that you see the most. KRKs, me personally, I feel like they produce a lot more low end than my Yamaha speakers. Some speakers don't produce the mid as much as they do the low end or the highs and stuff like that, and I'm gonna explain these in other videos. But y'all know what the mids and the lows and the highs is. Even if you don't make music, at least you should. You know what the bass is, you know what the voice is, you know what so some produce higher on this end, some produce lower on this end, some produce higher on this end, and they all vary depending on what brand of speakers you go with. So you want to meet halfway with popularity and where they lay. You don't want to buy a brand of speakers that have too much on the bass end, because when you get ready to mix, you're not gonna turn your bass up because it's already loud through your speakers, but when you get in the car, you're gonna hear it drop, or vice versa on the other end of the spectrum. And when you buy your speakers, you can see the graph that shows where it's raised at. Now, you want to get some speakers. If you really want to be particular about what speakers you get some speakers that are flat on the line. When you look at the parametric, spectrum or the parametric equalizer, it should be flat. It shouldn't be raised up anywhere like that. Beats headphones, the bass is emphasized. That's why people like those headphones so much, because they produce a lot of bass. So yeah, go with popularity, but also meet halfway. If you want to get the best, go with flat, so that you know exactly how it sounds while you mixing it. And also another thing about your speakers, how many speakers do you need? It depends on the size of your room. If you're in a small room, you only need 2 monitors and a subwoofer. You need your subwoofer, I don't care what size room you in, because your subwoofer is the speaker that's just for bass. But when you don't have a subwoofer, your monitors are forced to push out the bass frequency. When you get a subwoofer, you have to plug your monitors through your subwoofer. They don't plug directly into your interface. Your subwoofer is plugged directly into your interface, and then your speakers are plugged into your subwoofer. So the sound goes from your computer to your sound card to your subwoofer, then through your speakers, and then the frequency gets split off. So the monitors are now only playing the mid and the high end, and your sub is playing the low end. So if you don't have a subwoofer, your sound is all congested, and you can't really determine exactly how it sounds. So no matter what size room you in, you need to have your sub, because it's gonna split up that frequency for you.